Yes, team, what is up? Okay, so bit of a bold claim, but this video that you're about to watch, I believe, is going to be one of the most powerful videos you watch around getting an understanding of ads for your coaching business. So many coaches don't understand what they should be doing around ads, or they may be ignorant to the missed opportunity that they currently have. From working with over 100 coaches and helping them scale their business, there's very, very common themes that I see with coaches and what they're doing wrong. One client that instantly comes to mind is a client, Ollie, of mine. When he came to me, he was fluctuating between 8 and 10,000 a month, and he was putting quite a lot of money on ads. But he was putting all his focus into top of funnel ads. And even if you're watching this and maybe you don't run ads as a coach, there's still a lot you can take away from this because the process is very much the same, organic or paid, when it comes to creating awareness, but then building know, like, and trust with your audience so they turn into clients. So Ollie was doing really, really well at the awareness piece, but he was putting all his focus here. So he was essentially hoping and praying that these new followers would turn into clients, and he was getting some movement with that. But it got him to a point of like 8 to 10K per month. We were actually able to not increase ad spend, just adjust what he was doing with his organic content and with his ads. And with that, we were able to grow from 8 to 10K a month to 50K a month. And Ollie was able to do that from, yes, having a top of funnel firing. So it's not saying that your boosted posts or getting new followers isn't important, but it's what are you doing after that? And are you doing more than just this one style of ad that's getting new followers in and you're just messaging them and hoping for the best? Because that's what 90% of other coaches are doing. So how are you going to separate yourself from those coaches? It's by having a full ecosystem in place, which I'm going to talk you through in this video. So what I want to do for you first, just when I was kind of saying things like top of funnel, middle of funnel, etc., just so we're like very much aligned here, let me break that down for you in terms of what I mean. Sorry, I'm a bit off on the video there, so let me actually come down a bit. Yeah, as you can see, I'm amazing at art. Okay, is that okay? Can I move it down a bit for us? Yeah, there we go. As you can see, very in the moment, but that's when we get some of the most valuable content. Okay, so what we have here, we have top of funnel, we have middle of funnel, and then here we have bottom of funnel. So if you consider right now people over here, these are strangers who don't know you yet. So the worst thing we can be as a coach is the best kept secret and no one knows about you. So step one is actually getting awareness and getting people to know about you. So yes, you can do this organically. If you're someone who's doing it organically, I recommend trialing the trial reels. Really, really good way of pushing content out to people who don't know you for free and seeing what's working. But I'll always recommend if there's a small bit of ad spend that you can do, doing top of funnel content is essentially putting ads out there, or sorry, top of funnel ads, it's putting ads out there to people who don't know you yet. So it's essentially trying to get people from here into your funnel. So that is what you probably see a lot on Instagram. You'll see things come up on your page. It's visit Instagram profile. So that's people trying to get people, audience or traffic onto their page, and hopefully that they'll hit follow, etc. So that's step one, or one of the steps you can do. But a lot of coaches stop here and they wonder why people don't end up signing up with them. It's because at this part, people are quite cold. They're quite cold because they don't know you, like you, or trust you at this point. So there will be some people who might just be ready to buy and they'll take action on it. Amazing. But we don't want to rely on that. We want to essentially have a middle of funnel process in place, which is warming them up. So if they're going from cold to warming them up, what is this going to do? It's going to obviously improve the know, like, trust, and the ability for them to convert. So what we focus on with our clients, with our ecosystem, is we want to do awareness to get people in top of funnel. But then when we're in top of funnel, we don't want to stop there. We want to work on our middle of funnel and building that know, like, and trust with them. And eventually they get onto the bottom funnel and convert into clients. So that's essentially what I worked on with Ollie. I saw straight away all the focus is going in this top of funnel piece, and we need to work on building the middle of funnel in terms of what you're doing, because your top of funnel is great, that's firing really nicely, But if we stay here, you're probably going to stay stagnant at your 8 to 10, or it's very much like we're hoping, instead of having a proper ecosystem in place, which is going to guarantee people come down to your middle funnel and will eventually buy from you and convert, which is essentially the goal. So what I want to do with you is show you the elements of our ecosystem and exactly what that looks like. So if we are to scroll down here, so when we're thinking about top of funnel, we can look at it in a few areas, which you're going to see here. So the ones that are most common that I was kind of speaking about there is going to be your visiting Instagram profile. So we have a few options here. You have a like reel style you can do, profile visit ad, you can do a carousel style, or you can do an Instagram story ad. So these are three that we like running with clients, and we like testing which is performing best. Is it the reels, is it carousels? Really like the story, Instagram story style ads as well. And the goal for this is they'll click on the ad. So obviously we want the ad to be working well where people want to visit profile, go on their page, and then we'll have their Instagram profile optimized in a way to try get as many people following the account from that. So that's something we'll work on with them. The ad needs to be good, the creative, to get them to click on the profile, but then it's up to the profile to get them to hit follow. So that's what we're working on. And what we're aiming to do from that as our next step is message followers. So that would probably be the most common one, maybe that you've ran, that coaches would run. Like a lot of coaches will say, yeah, haven't really ran ads, but I boosted some reels. And they don't really know what they're doing. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good strategy. Like building out your new followers is a really, really important piece. But as I said, that's what 90% of coaches are doing. If we want to be in that like top 10%, we need to do something more. We need to have more layers to our ecosystem and what we're doing. So a few things we like to run on top of this with clients is one, video view style ads. So video view ads is something you can then retarget to 25% of viewers. So our strategy behind this is setting up educational style content, which is obviously very much positioned to their ideal clients and the pain points that they have, which is what we build out with clients when they start working with us. We get very clear on their messaging. We have a Empire blueprint in place, which essentially does everything for them. And then we know exactly the content and the ads to be running. But with that, 3 to 5 minute video, anyone who's watched over 25% of it, which is a long time. So if that's a 5-minute video, what's that? That's like a 1 minute and 15 seconds at least has been watched of the 5-minute video, and then we can retarget those people because we know there's interest there if they've decided to watch 1 minute and 15 seconds of that video. So if we, let's say, have profile visit ads, we have a carousel running, we have a reel running, we have an Instagram story ad, we're driving people into the profile, and then we're getting them to follow the account, we're messaging those new followers. Then we have video view ads going, which we're not actually looking for a conversion mechanism from it other than just a watch time being over 25%. And then we're retargeting ads to those people specifically. Again, that's building that know, like, and trust. So if you think about one coach who's just like someone saw a reel from them, which is like a trendy reel, they've clicked on their page and followed them and they've messaged them, versus what we're building here, which is going to get people a lot more exposed to the amount of content that we're doing. And then a third one that can work super, super well as well is like a CTA style ad, which will go direct into conversation. So this could be a DM keyword, so it can be set up as a messenger ad, or it could just be a comment down below. So usually we like running lead magnets to this, setting up something like a ManyChat automation, getting people to comment below and directly going into a chat. And then we'll work with our clients in really improving the conversations that they have to get someone from lead magnet to finding out about their situation to obviously booking in for a call. So we'll have that kind of process dialed in there. So this is essentially getting complete strangers to aware about you and the first steps of like getting them into your world and that process. But as I said, this is not where you need to start, because this would just be kind of like maximizing the top of funnel. Yes, we're going to have some ability here with the retargeting and the messaging the followers, having people in conversation, but still in all, it's not enough for, you know, thinking about going back to Ollie, the 10 to 50k. This wouldn't have got someone from 10 to 50k. But what will get someone from 10 to 15k is when we can think about moving from that component into what we call the conveyor belt system. So I'm actually going to go up, up, up. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't get on top of me. Yeah. Let's go with that. Okay, so Conveyor belt system comes down in a few components. So one, let's start with the ads side of it. So we have, sorry, okay, there we go. So we have retargeting ads set up. So top of funnel, so if you remember back to the funnel, we had top of funnel, which was what we're working on getting cold people aware about you and getting them into your funnel. Middle of funnel is retargeting to people who have already engaged with your stuff. So you can set this up to be specific to what you want. It can be people who've just followed your account, people who just like something, saved a post, etc., etc. You can retarget an email list, all different things. For us, let's say in this case, if we say, okay, retarget anyone who's engaged with your Instagram account for the last 180 days, so it's like the last 6 months. So now these ads are specifically going out to people who've engaged with the Instagram account over the last 180 days. So it's a warmer audience. Warmer audience means we can do a warmer marketing message. And what I mean by that is, let's say if a complete stranger comes across a client case study of yours, in a lot of cases, they don't care about you, they don't care about your client, they only care about themselves and the problem that they have. So we need to make sure our top of funnel content is aligned to getting their attention, getting them on your page. But then when they get more exposed to you, all of a sudden they'll take more of an interest into you. So now when we think about retargeting ads, this can be more kind of like trust building content, more authority content, because they'll know about you already. So this is one step we can be doing here. So this can be retargeting ads for lead magnets. If on our Emperor Cadence, which we'll get to, is like a conversion week where we're trying to sign up clients, we can have things specifically about them. But something that we love as well is running some of our organic pieces of content on low ad spend, which is just going out to our current audience. So if we're posting consistently and we're rotating our posts, this is just ensuring we have omnipresence, we're being top of mind, we're staying in front of people consistently, and it's a low ad spend, really, really high return from it. We're not seeing an exact conversion from it necessarily, but what we're going to be seeing is we're having more conversations, more people voting on polls, more people viewing stories, more inbound inquiries, because this know, like, and trust and this omnipresence is happening quite effortlessly. Step two is trying to get them off the platform of Instagram as well. So are we building an email list, and are we getting people to also get to your email list? So this will be a big step for us in terms of, okay, when people come into our world top of funnel, can we collect their email and have a proper, one, nurture campaign set up, but two, do we have an email structure and strategy in place where we're consistently feeding them on email? Because if we think about someone's psychology when they're on email versus when they're on Instagram, usually they're on email with a bit more intention. So if you have they're on it with more intention, so you get more of their attention is a good way to look at it. When they're on it with more intention, they're reading through things more than they might just be scrolling on Instagram. So if you think about some of the biggest names in the industry, they send out emails consistently, and there's a reason as to why they do it. So email will be kind of step two in that middle of funnel process. Then step three is what we like to call the video influence blueprint, and it's essentially a video that we help clients create. We have a custom AI tool which helps them like build this out based on their coaching philosophy, based on their story, and this is essentially a VSL style YouTube video, but we do it very much where we're educating the audience rather than feeling like they're being sold to. But this works really, really well to get a lead from semi-warm, kind of like cold, to very, very warm and like wanting to buy. So this is a process that we have in place. So let's just take it back a step. 90% of coaches have, well, in the 90% of coaches, people are either not getting any awareness and new leads coming through, or they're getting awareness and they're getting new leads, but they're just stopping there and they're messaging them and they're hoping for the best, and then they're turning off the ads when anything isn't working. The top 10% where you can be after watching this video is you're having a few different ways of getting awareness and getting people in top of funnel. You're not relying on one strategy, because as you could see from what I went through, there's a few different ones that are super effective. And then when they come into your world, we have a conveyor belt system, which is getting them to see a lot of your middle of funnel content, you being top of mind. We're getting them into your email. So we have an email strategy in place where we're getting them, as I said, to kind of see you off platform. Also, what I would say on email is they can see a different side to you. Like, I would treat emails very differently. Please don't use AI and like actually write this like a diary entry like you would to a friend. Like, get them to see another side to you. Like, super powerful in the way you can talk on email versus social media. And then from there, are we getting them to see some like long form content of yours? Primarily your video influence blueprint. We'll also get our clients to do an origin story, and if you're posting consistent long form, even better. But this is the first piece. If they can see that video influence blueprint, so now someone has seen a long form video, they're on your email list, they're seeing retargeting ads from you, you've messaged them, they've seen a long form video of you, and then getting onto your actually organic content system in a second. What's the difference there versus the person who's just had a boosted reel going and just messaged them once? Can you see the difference of like how you can get into top percent? So like that's the way I want you thinking. Just quickly on like the long form video as well, a really interesting study by, he's a president of acquisition.com, his name skips me right now, but he was basically saying that they did a study and the last 100 buyers have watched over 48 minutes, the last 100 buyers have watched over 48 minutes of content. This was actually with a different business, but he was just using an example. So how can we, if we take 48 minutes, it's not a special number, but let's just use it. If we can take that, how can we get leads coming into your page to see 48 minutes of your content as quick as possible? Obviously, the middle of funnel ads going to help a lot. Emails and how you set that up and where you might be sending people helps a lot. But long form videos is going to be massive as well. So if you're sending them to your video influence blueprint, which is a key coaching IP we have in terms of like building out a specific framework to like running a video with custom AI. If you're interested in that, just you can message me. I'm happy to share the document with you. But yeah, that's obviously going to help in terms of us getting to that 48 minutes of content and building that know, like, and trust. And then finally, having a content engine in place. So we have the Empire Cadence. I'm not going to go into this too much right now. I've done another video on this, but essentially the Empire Cadence is a content system that we have in place, an operating rhythm with our clients each month, which gets people from aware about a subject to getting them to raise their hands, into a lead magnet, into a workshop, and then into a conversion piece. So every single month we have the same operating rhythm, we just have a different topic that we're doing. So with that in place, with the cadence, with them seeing long form video, with them getting email, with them set up on retargeting ads and building that know, like, and trust, and making sure we have the top of funnel cranking and all this awareness coming through, and then we have the conversion piece in place with like making sure our DM conversations to conversions and our sales process is fully dialed in. You can see how someone like Ollie scaled from 10k a month to 50k a month. So that is essentially the process behind it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you a rundown of pretty much how you can see ads in like not just like boosted reels or not just new followers, but see the different layers to it, and wanting you to think of like, okay, how can I be in that top 10%? If we're in a time and a position where a lot of people will be not being able to progress as much, or the cream is really starting to rise to the top, how can you be the cream and how can you be the one that rises to the top? So I hope this video was helpful. If you want more info on what that could look like for your business, I'm happy to do an audit for you on that, getting to know a bit more about your business. So if you click below and message me on Instagram the word audit, it'll actually be an automated message, but it's going to ask you a few questions about your business. I'll jump in then and I'll give you some specific feedback on your business. So hopefully this was helpful, and yeah, hopefully we'll catch you on the other side.